Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Woodsman Whack Off. This time I'm going to do things a little bit differently, because doing it the other way is really difficult, actually. So I've got Bobby Boucher, my Husqvarna 281 XP, built by Pat, who is known as Cajun or Cajun Work Saws. I'll put links in the comment section below, maybe in the title as well. So I've got all this footage from a few months back whenever I tested a whole bunch of saws in this one big log. Now I must say before I get started, it is the same log in every one of these tests right here. It's just it got so small, so short that I couldn't keep it on top of the stack of logs, and I had to put it down on the ground. In doing so, the way that thing's shaped, it naturally wanted to roll. Now, will this make a difference in the times? Yes, I think that it will, because whenever it was rolled upright like this and you have the pointy end at the bottom, that is more wood that the saw needs to get through. However, I can't be perfect in this, and in the real world, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. So I'm pretty confident in the results that we're going to see. And if you change this out a million different ways, I still think that Bobby Boucher is going to come out on top. So, but let's, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to looking at the video. What I'm going to do right now is I got to make sure my sound is off. Yes, it's off. And I'm going to give a click cue so that we know whenever the video is starting. And click. So here we go. We got Bobby Boucher on the left, and we have the, I believe this is actually a Dolmar 7900 or a 7910. The Dolmar or Makita, whichever it is ported by me, but it's pretty basic. I didn't cut the squish or anything like that. This was early on, and I couldn't even cut the squish. But we see there that Bobby Boucher really comes out on top. But we could also hear that the Dolmar wasn't tuned perfectly. Maybe it just needed to be warmed up, but it was doing a lot of four-stroking. I will say this about that saw: it is difficult to tune because the coil is a low limited coil. It's like at 12,000 or something, and whenever it's easy, the saw does have a lot of power, and it just pulls through, and it just sounds like it's four-stroking, but it's actually bouncing off the coil. But there you go. Clearly, however close it was or wasn't, Bobby Boucher, the 281 XP, wins without issue. Now we're going up against the Echo CS8000. I ported this saw as well, and it looks like it's going to hang in there and do a little bit of better job than the Dolmar did, but it still loses to the 281 XP. I will say this about the CS8000 here. I built this for a gentleman, and was wanting it to be more of just a good solid torque saw, nothing special. And a lot of people say that these 8000s need the old CS800 carburetor for them to really come alive. But look at that. I mean, Bobby Boucher just walks away with it. These are all running the exact same bar and chain, by the way. Now here we go for the big challenges. We are looking at the 592 XP right there. And the 592 XP is no slouch by anyone's standards. It is a very strong running saw. I love it, but it's completely stock, never been touched. Boom. And Bobby Boucher. Ooh, he's angry. And here we go for the vice grip, still the 592. Now, even though these saws are extremely similar in power, the 592 all stock, I would trust it more for mill work and things like that. But Bobby Boucher takes the lead. because I think on a meal, Bobby Boucher would overheat, you know. And here's the big test, the 585. The 585 actually proved to be a smidge faster than the 592. So, will Bobby Boucher be able to beat the 592? Or, I'm sorry, the 585. And it's close, boom. But no, the 585 came out on top. What? All right, so here we go. Now we got the vice grip. Both saws having no issue, right? Bam! Bobby Boucher comes out on top. And so this is why right here I give the nod to Bobby Boucher, right? The 281 is cutting through the log with the log at a different angle, right? But it's not actually falling. It's not longer. What am I even saying? The 281 is having to cut through the log where the bar of the saw is buried in hardwood for longer. And I believe that the log is a little bit bigger in this point. But whatever. It's really, really close. You're splitting hairs between which one has more power and speed. Is it the 585 or the 281 XP that has been built? My nod goes to the 281. But it's very close. It's extremely close. So there you have it. It's extremely close. I don't know what else to say about that. I think that if you... I've ran both saws. They feel extremely similar. And I think that the 281 XP has just a little bit more oomph, just a little bit more speed, whatever it's got. I don't know. It's quite possible that it's just more speed. I don't know. Don't care. The 281 is not going to be able to, I'm sorry. I don't have I don't have the 585 in order for it to run in the 5 cube class at Sawfest. I do have, however, the 281 XP. Now, here's where we get to a little bit of a crux. I don't know, and I don't know what to do. So, just simply the turn of events happened. I got an 064. That is a Stihl chainsaw, if you guys don't know. The 064 is the precursor to the 066 or the 660. I had really little, very limited knowledge of it. I stopped at this person who clearly cut a lot of firewood. I stopped at their house because I'd been passing by there for a few years now, and I would always see this huge pile of logs to be cut up, and the guy would make, it'd be a fresh pile and stuff. So he was out there cutting wood, making firewood and stuff like that. My point is I was completely content in Bobby Boucher. I did not do this by means of seeking out something else. I was driving past that guy's place, and I saw him out actually cutting wood and splitting firewood, burning some trash, whatever. I don't know. But I was like, I'll probably never, I've been driving by this guy's house for like 4 years, and this is the first time I've ever seen him out. So I'm going to swing in there and just chat it up a bit. And turns out, he had that 064 and was willing to sell it. And I got a really good price on it. So I was like, all right. So now I own an 064, right? So it's no big thing to me, I just own this 064. And then I get a guy called Jeff Seacombe. He has a channel called Leave Nothing Stock. Well, he wanted to port my 064. So here we go. I'm like, I check him out. I get people, they offered to build me saws. I think your name is Jim Saws and Stuff. You offered to port a saw for me, but you're all the way up in Canada. Just shipping the saw back and forth would cost me a mountain of money, right? But anyways, this guy, Jeff Seacombe, for Leave Nothing Stock, he checked out. He seemed to be knowledgeable, know what he was doing, be capable of doing machine work if he needed to do machine work and everything. And he wanted to build my 064. So I was like, okay, 064, send it to you. I don't want to build that damn thing. I don't like Stihls, right? I don't want to build it. But it was weak. It was pretty pathetic, honestly. But I think that it was just simply because it needed a refresh. Needed a new ring and stuff like that. But because otherwise it ran good, it was just like, the MS400 beat it. It was pretty weak. My Echo 620 Direwolf beat it. Anyways, that's enough of that. So I sent it off. My point in all this is it came back. And whenever it came back, I was shocked, blown away. Not really scared, but I can't think of a better word right now, but scared. Because I think it's faster than Bobby Boucher. And Pat worked really hard on Bobby Boucher for me to race at Sawfest. See what I'm saying? So, but then this 064 will qualify for the exact same class. And I think it might be faster than Bobby Boucher. Now, they're both, it's going to be splitting hairs, which one's faster. But what do I do? What do I do? Because, Pat worked really hard on Bobby Boucher. But you know what? So did Jeff on the 064 that I'm going to call Ike Turner. So what to do? What to do? I think that I'm going to run them. And I'm going to do a whack-off between the two. Whichever one's faster is the one that I'll run. And the other one, my buddy Tim Bauer, he's coming out to Sawfest. And so the other one will be ran by him. He needs a 85cc class saw. So whichever one's faster, that's the one that I'll run. And the other one will still get ran at Sawfest, but by Tim. And honestly, it kind of sucks. I might just be like, I'm going to run Bobby Boucher just for the hell of it because it looks so cool. I love the top cover that I did for it and everything, and I like the saw. So, and I'm a Husky guy. I'm not a Stihl guy. But I guess it would depend on how bad it is. I'm completely assuming, because I haven't ran Bobby Boucher for a good minute. And the 064, I just ran it and was like, whoa. But I was blown away by Bobby Boucher whenever I ran it as well. So Bobby Boucher might still win. I don't know. I keep saying Bobby Boucher, the 281 XP. And before I let you go on this, I want to address Muffler Delete 101. He's another channel here on YouTube. Good guy. Excuse me. I want to address his video on Bobby Boucher. All right. So, as we know, the chainsaw world can get a bit dramatic. But if you look at it and go, I don't give a shit. All right. Like right now, there's a real douchebag that's trying to bait me into talking about his channel. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. He's a small channel that gets a couple hundred views, mostly from people that hate him and are giving him all the views. He just needs to go away. He's making accusations of me and everything, and it's not even worth my time. But for the muffler delete video, I personally don't think that Muffler did anything wrong. But that's probably largely because I know Muffler. All right, the way he talks, he talks. I don't know how to even say it. He talks like every time he says something, it's like he's throwing down the gauntlet. That's the way he talks. So he did a video comparing the winner of the 372 clone race to Bobby Boucher, my 281 XP. And he's like, this saw was built as a get-together saw, and we're at a get-together, and it loses to a 72cc saw or 71cc saw. Whatever he's saying, And he's saying people need to get out and go to these get-togethers and blah, blah, blah. He's probably making some accusations there or whatever. Bobby Boucher may have lost to that 372 XP. Why do we care? I don't care. I don't care. All right. But what that video does not take into consideration is I had a 28-inch bar and chain on Bobby Boucher that I had hand filed, and we all know that I'm a shit filer. We all know that. No one that watches this channel is like, oh, Bodie can really sharpen a chain. No one is saying that whatsoever. All right, but my point is I was running a 28-inch bar and chain with a chain that I hand filed that was grabby as hell and not sharp. All right, because I can't sharpen a chain. I'm terrible at it. Had a 7-pin sprocket, and we were running in, I think it's 9x9 softwood. And so the race saw, the one that won the 372 class, right? I think that Brandon may have had a 325 chain on there. I don't know. I've heard rumors, and I don't care if you did, buddy. I don't care. But whatever, his chain was absolutely better than mine. Probably running an 8 or a 9-pin sprocket, and going up against Bobby Boucher, which I just brought there. So do I care that Muffler made the video? No. I mean, yeah, go for it. Whatever. But anybody that watches that video and thinks anything negative about the 281 XP, my 281 XP, Bobby Boucher, they need to understand that Bobby Boucher did not come there to race. Bobby Boucher came there to hang out and have fun with everybody and allow people to run him. But if I was to set up, I mean, they're both Husqvarna-based saws. If I took that exact same bar and chain and sprocket setup off of Brennan's 372 clone saw and put it on Bobby Boucher and then ran them, you would have a far different outcome. I mean, granted, the 281, Bobby Boucher may have still lost. However, not by that margin. I mean, it's, And Muffler probably knows this. I mean, he's quick to say he's dumb. I'm not a smart guy and stuff like that, but he's not dumb. He knows. He just wanted to make a video, put it out there, and basically say, come out to the get-togethers. I think that's what's going on. But either way, I don't care. I just don't care. And I know that whatever could have been intended, you know, the reality is I showed up with a 28-inch bar and chain. If I had been racing Bobby Boucher, I definitely wouldn't have had that on there, and I would have had a much better chain. Because my chains and sharpening skills, well, I mean, out of the box, I've yet to be able to beat out of the box. I suck. So, you know, not only can I not beat out of the box, this chain most definitely was not as sharp as out of the box. And there you have it. So, anyways, lots of rambling, I guess, but you know, that would be an interesting race to do. I would like to do it, you know. Brennan would be open to it. Brennan's a cool cat, you know. Brennan would be like, yeah, let's race, you know. I mean, why not? There's nothing at stake. The only thing that's at stake is, you know, just bragging rights and whatever. But yeah, I kind of regret showing up with Bobby Boucher at that place without a perfect chain. Yeah. It was my fault, you know. But, you know, Pat's not butthurt over it or anything. You know, he's confident that, you know, the 281 XP is a good saw. So am I. And you know, everything's all good. And muffler, we're good, buddy. All of it, these are just chainsaws. And, you know, just, I would recommend that whenever you speak, try not to speak like you're throwing down the gauntlet, you know, and you know, and saying, oh, come on, get up, this is proof and stuff like that. No, that's not proof. That's not proof of anything. That's a 28-inch bar and chain that's been shittily sharpened in a 9-inch piece of softwood. I don't know, you know, whatever. But whatever. It's weird how people get hung up over stuff. I mean, I can understand it if, like, there was a $2,000 purse on the line and like, somebody cheated. Yeah, that would suck. That would suck. But there's not a $2,000 purse on the line. And this is just, like, fun. Anyways, so next up in the Bobby Boucher saga is going to be, is it as fast as the 064 that Leave Nothing Stock, Jeff Seacombe, built? It's going to be close. There's no doubt about it. But I will say this, that they both have 52 millimeter bores, but the Stihl has a 40 millimeter stroke and the Husqvarna has a 38 millimeter stroke. Those extra 2 millimeters of stroke, man, I mean, it's just been here recently, just proven that long stroke will still do the RPMs required for a fast saw, but they also give you a lot more torque. So the longer stroke of the 064, I think, is just a superior design. And so I think that it's probably better carbed and everything. I don't know about that, but I think that the 064, after having run a good one now, is far superior to the 281. So if the 281 loses, it's like, it's only natural. You know what I mean? That 064 is nice. And it is way nicer than any 660 I've ever ran. And I say nicer, I'm not saying faster. I'm just like, I was just blown away. I was like, this is such a nice saw now. And so, anyways, as the world turns, I am really torn because I don't know what to do if one's faster than the other. I mean, it's a race. It's a race. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that, man. It's a race, and even though I'm not expecting to win, I do want to win. You know, even though I'm not going to be hurt if I don't win, I would like it better if I did win. And so whichever saw is faster, that's what I'm going to run.